You know, a fair number of you have suggested, oh God, you need to go get grief counseling or something like that. Yesterday highlights what I actually fucking need, okay? I need something where I can contact someone and say, look, I need this done, right? And it gets arranged, scheduled, whatever. I don't have that. I went to talk to a psychologist back when I was here the last time. I was getting it free from the school. And he suggested that maybe I have OCD. That the complexity of things is so high that I can't handle them. Maybe. It resonates to some extent. To other extents, and if you look at the mess that I live in, for example, it seems almost ludicrous. But I only can handle what is in my patterns. Now, my patterns aren't, crossing myself before I go across the street, or keeping everything neat and tidy, or washing my hands all the time. My patterns are what sort of work to keep my life in operation all the time. My patterns don't include calling a plumber. That's not something that's fixed into my patterns. Now, recently, my patterns have started including going to the dentist, because every time I go to the dentist, I get a little card that says, here's your next appointment. And they go out of their way to get my business, right? I stop in, I look. When I went to get my wisdom teeth removed some 15 years ago, maybe, I don't know. It's getting close on that, somewhere between 10 and 15 years ago. There was no transition to the next step, which was go to a regular dentist. The guy who did it doesn't do regular dentistry. And, he said, you might have a cavity. Well, 10 years later, I had several. I had to have a tooth removed because, things had gotten so bad. Had to have a root canal. All kind of shit. None of that would have happened if I had been flowed directly into, here's a dentist. Go to him. Just do it. I need that, right? But I need that in everything. I need that in everything. I mean, it's easy enough for me to deal with going to work every day because I don't have to fucking leave my house. I'm having some difficulty now because of grief intruding, but not just grief, also all the shit that I needed to get done. Now, the environment that my life created, that my angst about getting all this shit repaired in my house, that came from day one when I bought it and made a list and said I'm going to get all these things done, and got two things off the list, right? I got my roof cleaned and found a guy who would do that. And then the next year I got my roof cleaned, and then the next year I said, yeah, that was a lot of money to do, and I don't need to get the moss removed. I will do it myself as much as I can. And I did a job on it. And then I call him the next year and he's moved to another town and I have no idea how to do it. I call the next person. I spend a lot of time trying to find something. I finally find someone who will who will respond to email, and came out here and looked at it and said, nope, can't get a guy who will go up on your roof. And I ask, well, do you know anyone who will? Nah, well, none of the real companies will. There may be some guy named, and he gave me something, like Mario or something like that, who you'll find on Reddit. And I asked, well, if you can send me his email or something. Never sent it. Understandable. It's not his job to find me a person. But what I need is someone whose job is. And, I'm not saying, oh my God, I need this and I don't have the money for it. I need this service and I'm willing to pay a reasonable amount for it. And I don't think I'm alone in this, right? I can imagine a lot of people who maybe their spouse took care of all this shit and they just have no idea how to do it. I've been in the position where I've been the fucking idiot who's been trying to take care of all this shit, but I have no idea how to do it. And as soon as I face a setback, I'm screwed, right? I'm bad at it anyway. It takes me months, years sometimes, to get around to figuring out how to find someone to do something. Anyway, one of the things was the roof cleaning. One of the things was I got a chimney cleaner. Awesome. The chimney cleaner came, did the work, and said, I'm not doing this again. It's too tall. You'll have to get someone else. Okay, that's first problem. And the second was, and you really need to get your chimney repaired, because I was afraid I was going to take it down trying to clean it. And I've tried these things. I can't find people I can communicate with in the way that I need to. They want my phone number, they want to call me, and that isn't going to happen, right? So it's like I give everything up. Now, yesterday my dryer died, and I look, and I think it's still plugged in. Yeah, I'm that bad. It's hard to get in there. It feels like it is, but I'm a little afraid of electricity, and those big plugs especially scare me. I don't think it's knocked the plug out. I think it's the dryer just died. I checked the fuse, and I flipped the fuse that I think is for it. It's written, it says it is, and it certainly looks like one of the heavier, the 220s or whatever. And I'm like, okay, great. That wasn't the issue. From what I can see, getting the dryer repaired probably costs more than getting it replaced, but I can't do either. It's not something I can carry home and bring and put in. And it probably involves contacting someone, arranging all this shit. Can I get some of this done? Maybe. When it gets bad enough, right? Bad enough probably doesn't mean going without a clothes dryer. Certainly during the summer, I can hang shit out on my porch. During the winter, well, maybe I have enough clothes to get me through. Probably not, but maybe. Or I'll just, it's not like I change my clothes all that often. The sink, not long before my wife killed herself, the sink fucking died. And new restriction on life, we can't use both sinks, that are in the kitchen. We can't use both of the things because one of the drains leaks. And I'm just like, well, I'll put a pan under it, but if you're throwing a lot of water down there, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So that sink is just off use. The other one is going to rot out too. And at that point, maybe I'll have enough gumption to, after washing dishes in the tub or something, to finally get around to doing it. Things have to go terrible, My roof is going to fall apart before I can deal with it, probably. My chimney might break and set the house on fire, The dryer thing, if there's anything that's going to set me over, because my thought today was, shit, if she had left those drugs here, I probably would have done it today. I probably would have, because I just, there's just this clutter of crap that I don't know how to deal with. And again, I went to the psychologist, I tell him my problems. He says, well, maybe you should, we can only do 3 free sessions through the university. Maybe you should start seeing someone regularly. We can see if we can get you some help that way. And I'm like, that's not going to help me with what I need help with. You're not going to change who I am. I've been to psychiatrists and psychologists before. I'm not going to change. I'm what I am. What I need is someone who can help me interface with life. I do not need this let's sit around and chat for a while about what your problems are. I know what my fucking problems are. My problem is I am not meant for this world. You know, if I lived in a mud shack somewhere, I would do my best to patch it together. Maybe I would know people who can help me. Maybe. I don't know. You know, I'm unable to ask for help from people for the most part. I did some looking, and nothing seems to cover everything that I need. There's something like maintenance concierge or something like that, and I don't even know if it exists in my area, where you pay like a monthly or a yearly subscription, and you get a percentage off all the work that you get done. I may look into that. Maybe I can handle that. But maybe I can't. Because my suspicion is that all they're going to do is arrange someone and have someone call you. You know? It's like, that's not really what I need. It is helpful to have someone who knows good workers already. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe it's just, you know, something else. And can hook me up with that. But what I really need is for that whole appointment situation, that just the interface between me and the reality. And I don't know if this thing would work. I'm getting closer and closer to getting to it, but it seems like it doesn't cover everything I need anyway. Like, what I'm seeing is they'll do repair work, so I'd be able to get the plumbing and, you know, the framing work and stuff like that done, but they won't do the roof cleaning. You know, they won't arrange for that. That's not part of their thing, and they probably wouldn't deal with the dryer. You know, it's like there are property management companies that handle all this shit, right? If I had a rental unit, I might throw the whole rental situation through a property management company. Now, that's something I don't know how much I trust, because I don't know, you know, if they're really going to be putting the kind of, I get the feeling they'll put the most slipshod stuff in that they can. And again, you know, everything that I think of, I'm like, oh God, I can't actually just go do that, because that might be very wrong. It might be so much worse than what I want. But, you know, when you talk about, hey, can you go to grief counseling or something like that? Yeah, that's not going to fucking do shit for me. You know, I've been through this shit before. I kind of know how to handle this. What I haven't been through and haven't learned to handle is how to cope with day-to-day issues, whatever they are. You know, I can go shopping now because I do it every 2 weeks, and if I skip a week, I know I have to go the next week. You know, it is a part of my routine that I understand I have to do. I can't clean my house because the impact of not doing that is so incremental and small. Now, I don't want somebody to clean my house. That's something different. I don't want somebody to deal with that shit. I wouldn't even let my wife straighten things up for the most part. But yeah, if there is one thing that I need, it's that. And I don't know that it exists. I don't think that I can find it. And I kind of can't bear watching everything just fall apart around me.